Yes, good morning everyone, welcome back. We are here in Bromhof, Johannesburg. We're quickly going to install a Centurion D5 Evo Smart sliding gate motor. Client supplying the gate motor. Client had an old Centurion gate motor which he took into Centurion, and they advised that he needed to get a new one. So yeah, there was a anti-theft bracket, homemade one, and it worked well. So, but we are fitting a new anti-theft bracket. We look at the steel base plate. It was concrete basically into the ground, and with this anti-theft we don't have enough space on the sides, so we are going to insert a steel platform and then reinstall the whole gate motor. I'm just looking at all aspects of the gate. You can see the gate is wiggling a bit. The inner roller spacing is a little bit out or too much, and what's happening is that the gate is catching on the post on the outside. So that's not good. It can be viewed by the gate motor as an obstruction. So we'll just adjust the rollers and see that we don't have that problem anymore. Right, stay tuned. Let's get it done. Right, here's another aspect on the gate rollers. But if we look on top here, we have an anti-lift bracket. But it's rubbing onto the steel sliding gate. So that can also be viewed as an obstruction by the gate motor. So we'll just cut that off and re-weld the anti-lift bracket into place. Right, here's a quick tip. So if the spacing between the plastic roller guides are too big, just take your welding machine and you burn the hole a little bit bigger, which will allow you to move the rollers closer. We did need to jack up the gate into the air, and while it's there, sorry, burned myself on the welding, just check the steel gate wheel. So it's spinning nicely. Nothing wrong with that gate wheel. Right, if we look at it now, see if we can get in there. Gate rollers are much closer to what they were. Always make sure that your gate roller spins. So you can see it's worn off here a little bit more compared to the top. So what I did, I swapped it around, turned it around. So this was the top, now it's the bottom. And then obviously the gate's just leaning onto this one. But any roller, there you can see, I'm just moving it away. Rollers must be free rolling. Great stuff. Let's see if our problem is disappeared. Alright, just another view. You can see the rollers spacing is much better now compared to what it was. I'm going to quickly move to the outside. I'm going to quickly close the gate. Then we're going to focus we'll concentrate on this section. So we're going to quickly open the gate. Okay, yes, you can go. You can see it's not catching there anymore. at all. So we'll just reopen it there. I'm just going to let the gate stand there. Okay. So I'm just letting the gate stand here. There you can see that there's enough spacing. Still a possibility. I'm just wiggling it there. You can see it's not closing the gap completely. So we don't have that problem anymore. Okay. Let's quickly have a look and see what's scratching where. Noise that we just heard. Okay, so bring it back. You can see there, that's the gate roller guide bracket, which is a little bit too far out. We've moved the gate roller inwards, so the gate is closer, and it's obviously did catch there in the past. We're just going to grind this gate bracket off a little bit so that only the roller can catch it. Now this is from the rear side. Just want to lighten it up like that. So we've changed the roller, but this bracket here, this is the one that's catching onto the steel sliding gate. So what we'll do is we'll just grind it down a little bit so that it doesn't catch onto the gate anymore. So guys, this is where we are now. Got a small groove that we did cut into our steel platform. We've cut this slot for the electrical cable. We've got 2 holes on it. Now if we look at the old platform, we've cut open the concrete. We've opened the electrical wire slot a little bit bigger. We've sharpened these studs, and that allowed us to basically drill the holes into the steel platform. So basically now we can weld it into position. Just get it level and then weld it into position. Then we can mount the gate motor. Preparation. It's all about preparation. Alright guys, this is where we are now. We've welded our steel platform into position. So I had a nice stretch of steel that we could weld at the back, and then on the side steel post, could weld it there. Then on the inside we welded it there, and then the 2 studs. So we've got a nice thick sturdy platform. We can now mount the gate motor, bolt it down, but just gonna quickly paint it here, and then we'll do the gate motor and line it up for the steel gate. Right guys, this is where we are now. Steel platform is in place. Gate motor steel base plate has been welded down. I'm not going to break it off. It's now time to bolt the gate motor down. We'll quickly show you just now that the gate motor is level. That's it, there we go. Gate motor is level. I'm just using the steel flat bar because the watermark is too short. And then if we put it on that side as well, just quickly get there. I'll show you there that it's again level. And then if we stand back, we can see that the gate motor and the steel sliding gate is parallel with each other. Gate motor has been bolted down. I'm just going to bolt down the earth wire. and then we'll start with the steel gate rail. There we go, earth wire secured with a half nut. You can see the adjuster nuts. If you also look, there's some space that the motor can move forward or backwards, but we don't need it. If you look over there, the distance between the gate motor pinion gear and the steel sliding gate. This gate is quite straight, so we're not running a banana system today. Okay guys, this is where we are currently. This is a first for us, and we believe it will work. Because the client has got these metal sheets, you can't weld on them. So what we did is we welded the angle brackets onto the steel gate rail, and then we made sure that the spacing between the gate motor pinion gear and the steel rack is correct. And then we've drilled holes right through the steel sliding gate, and we've bolted the angle irons onto the steel sliding gate, and then we've used double nuts and we've locked them. So we are going to paint all of this just now, and basically what is left is installing all of the electrical components into the gate motor and then set up limits. So the areas where we could weld, we did weld the brackets, and then obviously let's move it. Startup sections have been reinforced. What we've also done is we've engraved the gate motor serial number onto the gate motor, and we've also engraved the address onto the components and the client cell number. So if this gate motor ever does get stolen, the client can point out his stolen property. So we don't do any engraving on electronic equipment, because sometimes if there is a factory fault, then we would need to replace it. So that's why we don't do engraving on electronic equipment. But yeah, right, let's quickly get the programming done. Right, that's the battery charging voltage. The previous models that we've installed were all far too low, so what we're going to do is we're going to adjust it to 13.90. That's much better for any lead acid battery to charge. Well, that's the closest that we could get to 13.90 volts DC. So this battery charging voltage is much more in line with the lead acid batteries. They do state anything from 14 to 14.5 volts DC. Right, another aspect, we've connected the earth wire from the controller card to the power supply, and which is then bolted down onto the gate motor. We're not great fans of connecting earth wires to equipment. Our argument is simple and clear. Lightning will take the easiest route down to ground, not the shortest. So if you create a great earth down to ground, and it's a very easy route, lightning will follow it. So my opinion is keep all earth wires away from electronic equipment, but you just might get a assessor for the insurance that doesn't know what he's talking about, and he repudiates your claim because earth wires were not connected. This is my opinion, 21 years of experience. You're not going to teach me much on these things. Great, we're just going to quickly program the gate motor remotes, and then do site handover. Right, done. Let's quickly see this Centurion D5 Evo in action. We have set the auto close to 30 seconds for the client, so I'm not going to activate it again. We'll wait for the auto close to activate. This is the anti-theft bracket that the client supplied. The client supplied the gate motor and the anti-theft and the lock and all of that. So if you look when the gate motor operates the steel sliding gate, you'll see it standing dead still. There's no vibration on the gate motor. There's no hopping of the gate motor. Running smooth. Like I say, we did. Ultimately, we changed the rollers. The inside one changed to the outside, and the outside one changed to the inside. So we don't have the banging of the steel gate on the steel posts anymore. So guys, if you want your gate motor installed properly, first time round, give Pottie a call, 083 778 2288. Check out smartgates.co.za. Check out exquisitesecurity.co.za. Thanks for all of the support. And we'll hopefully get to some more technical videos in the future. Stay tuned for more. Thanks, guys. I just want to quickly show you guys. That's where the gate was rubbing. Just because the gate rollers were not spaced closely together. And we don't have that problem anymore. So I'm just going to let it close, and then you can see that the difference in distance is not much. What I'll do is I'll do a slow motion of it. So I'm just not going to speak while it gets to that area. There we go. Another happy client.